today I have my up-to-date all things beauty treatment, skincare items that I use in my everyday routine. I'm really excited to share everything I'm currently using, some old favorites, some things are new, and we're going to dive into the treatments I've gotten as well and my honest sort of opinions and thoughts on them. But before we get started, I would love to start off with our sponsor for this video. I was gifted this Foreo Sweden UFO 3. It's part of their UFO collection. And Foreo is something I've known about as a brand since I was in high school. I actually had one of their electric sort of cleansers at the time and loved it. And when they reached out, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So this is a UFO 3, and it's essentially a extreme hydrating facial electronic device, and it features warming therapy, cryotherapy, or cooling, LED lighting like red LED, which is really good for collagen and the elasticity of your skin and just the overall radiance of your skin. And this device, the way that you use it is it comes obviously with a charger. There's a little stand it comes with. And the way you use it is you get some of their masks. And they come in these little boxes. I have a couple different kinds. There's the Bulgarian Rose, H2 Overdose Ultra Hydrating with hyaluronic acid, snow mushroom, ceramide, vitamin E, vitamin B5, Manuka honey, and green tea. So I've actually tried out a few of these, and yeah, these are the little masks. When you get the device, you also download the app by Foreo Sweden, and it essentially helps guide you through the mask treatments. It's really nice. It isn't essential necessarily to listen to it because it's gonna do the job while you're using it, but it is really nice, and you can also repeat the treatment for longer if you want to do a few more minutes. The way to use it is you remove the clear plastic ring on the side with the smooth sort of metal side, and you can open up the mask of your choice, and it's a little circle. You place it on and secure it with the circular ring, and then you can start the treatment from the app, and it starts to warm, change to different lighting depending on the mask you're using, cool down. One of my favorite parts about this device that I've never really encountered is the warming effect. It feels, if you've ever had hot stones before, it's not like incredibly hot, but the warmth on your face, it's just so soothing, so relaxing. I've never had really something like that before, except maybe in like a facial that I've gotten, and I just absolutely love that part, as well as the red LED lighting. I just really enjoy the luxuriousness of this sort of treatment that typically when you have face masks, they're very cold, and while that's always nice to have something cooling, a warming effect with some LED lighting and benefits as well is always really nice. This device is clinically proven to increase moisture in the skin by 126% in just a few minutes, and improves the look of wrinkles and fine lines over a week. Now, I do want to disclaim, I personally do have some botox in my forehead and a little bit around my eyes, but around the other parts of my face, I've noticed there is a bit of a firming effect when using this device, and also how incredibly hydrated my skin becomes after using it. I think this is a great skincare device for the person or you in your life who loves skincare and is looking for something more elevated, something quick and easy. So if you're interested in the UFO 3 or something else from Foreo Sweden, you can check out my discount code for you and get 30% off your next order. And I'll have all the information in the description below. A big thank you to Foreo Sweden for gifting me this beautiful device. It is a luxurious item, it is pricey, but I do think that it's one of those things that is really going to work really effectively. So yeah, thank you again to Foreo Sweden. Alright, so let's jump into the next important topic, which is beauty treatments, because I do think that is really important. I mentioned very briefly, I've had Botox, so I do want to talk about that and be real upfront about what I've done, how long I've done it, my thoughts on it. There's so much more information out there, and probably other people way more advanced in all of that. If you're looking for just more information, please do your own research. And of course, a big disclaimer for this video, everyone's skin and health conditions are very different, right? Some people are dealing with underlying chronic issues that impact our skin. Some people have different skin types, so please just take a grain of salt with this video and know that everything I love is because it works for me, and it's something that I just want to be clear about. And by no means am I a dermatologist, so please do your research and find the products that are going to work for you. But I'm here to just share what's worked for me and my honest opinions. So regarding Botox, I have Botox currently. I got it back in April. I want to say end of April, so it's about a month, a little over a month, and maybe a month and a half that I've had Botox in. So this is kind of like an optimal time, I would say. You'll hear anything from people getting it every 3 months, 4 months, to like a couple times a year. I think I'm in the boat of like twice a year. We'll see what that means down the road, but I'm in my early 30s and I didn't start getting Botox until last year. I actually got Botox last March, so a year ago, and I didn't get any touch-ups until this past April. And I do feel like it makes a difference for me, and just with general aging. Again, Botox is not necessary, you don't need it. But I personally wanted to invest in it, and I have the actual Botox brand, and I really actually like it better than the last time I got Botox last year. I think I got a different brand, and this is about 30-ish units in the forehead, a little bit above the eyebrows, and a little around the crow's feet. I don't really have too many wrinkles over here, but my forehead was something I was like, that's starting to scrunch up a little bit. So it's really to slow down wrinkles, not necessarily prevent you from ever getting wrinkles. So, you know, that's, I think, a pretty known knowledge. And I, again, want to maybe maintain it twice a year right now, so I'd get it later this year again. And it was only about 30-ish units, and that kind of went around to about $400, but I had discounts and like promo codes, like special offers, so it really was only $200, which was great. That will probably not be the case the next time I get it, but it was really nice to have a discount. I want to try and raise my forehead, but I feel like I'm gonna scare someone. But just know that it's sort of frozen muscles. Like, I'm not really able to move my forehead very much, but that's okay. I feel like I'm a pretty expressive person, and I don't feel limited right now with Botox personally. I will say it feels like at least for the first 2 weeks, you definitely can notice it. And then over time, and just like you don't really notice that the muscles don't move as much. But yeah, that is pretty much my Botox transparency. I do feel like it makes a considerable difference for me and just my overall skincare upkeep. I will say, if you're not into Botox or don't really want to do anything like that, you can invest in like a device, which I have. It's called the New Face. This is the New Face. I think you can actually use it with Botox. I just haven't been using it recently because I got Botox recently. I do want to get back into using this on the rest of my face though, because I don't do anything else. I don't have filler. I don't have other procedures, like other than Botox on my face. So that's pretty much it. So other than this device, I mean, this tightens your muscles. It's basically a slower version of Botox. So this is a great option. I have a whole video covering New Face. I think I'll see if I can find it and link it. And this is just like a really great alternative to anything you're injecting, essentially. So the New Face is a great option. I love this, and again, I'll link the video where I demonstrate it, all that good stuff. Okay, so next up, treatment wise, I wanted to talk about my eyebrow lamination and eyelash lift or lash lift. So I'll see if I can come in close. Prefacing, I do have some makeup on. I'll see if I can, I mean, in the video of me doing the masks, I don't have any makeup on, so that's a good representation of me without any product and the natural eyebrow, well, not natural, but the lash lift and brow lamination. But these are my eyebrows, and I barely fill them in. When I tell you, a brow lamination, which is essentially just perming the hairs to stay more upright, you can see. And I also got a tint because my eyebrows are just really light, so the tint really sort of negates the use for having to consistently use a lot of product like eyebrow pencil, and I love that. I feel like the eyebrow lamination and lash lifts allow me to go without a lot more makeup in those specific areas, but if you want the same effect and you're happy with your eyebrow products and lash products like mascaras and eyebrow pencils or shadows, you don't necessarily need a lash lift or brow lamination, but I've been enjoying them. I've only gotten it back in March, and then it's technically every 8 weeks you would need to touch up or do them again, because that's when the hair for your lashes grows out, the tint fades, the lamination fades away. You can also do these treatments yourself at home for a lot cheaper. I personally just go to someone who knows what they're doing because I just don't have time to learn right now, and that's okay. It is about like $200 every 8 weeks. That's a lot. I think I even stretched out more than that since March, because I just got these like, I want to say a week or two ago, and it's June, so I really stretched it. I really waited, and again, it's not necessary, but I feel like it really builds my confidence, so, and it really makes me not have to put on as much makeup if I don't want to in those areas. So just something to consider if you're similar. But yeah, I only have a little bit of mascara and a little bit of eyebrow pencil filling in just the tiniest gaps, but otherwise, love it. Love it. I'm a big fan, and yeah, I'll be talking about the products I use to maintain and upkeep them when I go over my morning and nighttime skincare routines. So we can jump into those next, but I did want to like go over these treatments first so you have a good understanding of some of these products and things I use. do my skincare, my beauty routine, all that good stuff. Alright, so let's start with my morning skincare. Honestly, it hasn't really changed. If you've seen some like get ready with me videos or other types of videos, some of this stuff is pretty much repeated, and that's because I don't experiment very often, and that's okay. I actually have all my morning stuff right here where I do my makeup. Let's kick off with vitamin C. I used to use and try to use a vitamin C oil like in the morning, but it would constantly pill my makeup. Hated that. If you have tips on how you like to apply vitamin C to your skin, maybe it's more of a nighttime thing, and I was just doing it in the morning. I don't know. I just didn't love the pilling with my makeup. It just didn't play nice. So a lot of my morning products have to play nice with my makeup. Just standard for me. So I use the Pixie Vitamin C Tonic. And this is great because it's vitamin C, so it's a brightening effect, all that good stuff. And essentially, all you do is put it on a cotton pad, and it's your toner. So this is like my morning toner. It doesn't break me out. It's really good for my skin, and I've really, honestly, have used this for several years now at this point. So yeah. After the toner, I then apply my eye cream. I feel like eye creams are the only things that I try out all the time, different ones. I feel like I haven't quite found my like eye cream for the morning. And evening, I like the one I have, but this one is a repeat buy. I just feel like I haven't found like a really amazing eye cream for the morning. I don't know. So if you have recommendations, let me know. But we have the caffeine eye cream. This is by the Inky List. I really do like it. I feel like it's hydrating, which I need in the morning, and especially when you're getting a little older, the skin just needs more hydration. And so this is a really good combination of hydration and caffeine. So, love that. If I'm feeling extra tired and need a boost, before I do any of this, I will use one of my eye masks. This is just the Detoxify Pixie eye masks, and it's depuffing eye patches. Super simple, but these work really great. I know there's some really expensive, crazy ones that I've yet to try, but as you'll see in the rest of this video, like I'll invest in like treatments, but a lot of my products are like drugstore because that is just who I am. Okay, so for my daily moisturizer, this has been a tried and true. I have not strayed from her. CeraVe. CeraVe has been a constant, at least for the last several years. And this is their daily moisturizing lotion for normal to dry skin. I will say, especially with Botox, it kind of makes your skin a little bit more oily, but typically my skin is a little more normal to oily, but it can also get really dry. It's just really dependent on the hydration I'm getting, like with water, my nutrients, like health has a lot to do with it. I work in an office a lot, so the air in the office makes me oily for some reason. Those offices, frigid, and just like makes me have so much oil on my face. But I think outside or normally, I don't feel like I get as oily. I don't know. That being said, this works great for my skin. I don't feel like it does anything crazy. It's moisturizing and lightweight for a daily moisturizer. So, highly recommend this as an everyday moisturizer. If you want something gentle and would say sensitive friendly. It has hyaluronic acid, it's fragrance free, it's pretty gentle, but love this. And then SPF, probably the most important thing you should be doing for your skincare, and everyone says that, but please do that. I use the Eucerin Age Defense Hyaluronic Acid SPF 50. So I, again, use this for years. I love it. I think it does the job, and it has other good benefits. There's so many sunscreens now, like there's probably a wealth of options to choose from, but this has been like one of my favorites, so definitely use this daily. And I'm really grateful I started using SPF and moisturizer back in high school. You know what I mean? Back when like the proactive skincare line was rampant, okay? I used that thing for years. I had really bad acne as a kid. I was in the proactive, lineup just like everyone else. That stuff was drying out our skin like crazy. But I'm happy to say I was using SPF at the time, and hasn't really changed, obviously, now that I'm older. So, SPF 50 for me. Love this. And that's pretty much my skincare. If you want to check out like my makeup routine and those products I use, you can check out a recent Get Ready with me, and I pretty much don't really change my makeup products that much either. So now that we've gone through the morning, let's go through the evening. That has a little bit more going on because I'm a night shower person. So let's say it's the end of the day, pretty much any end of the day, whether I'm wearing makeup or not. I jump in the shower, do my thing. If you're curious about my hair care, I do actually also have a video of all the hair products I use, and that hasn't really changed. So I'll link that if you're interested in checking out all the different hair products I like to use for washing, styling, all that good stuff. So I'll link that for you. But for other, face-oriented skincare items, I typically wash my face with 2 cleansers. So the first is by No Surprise CeraVe, and this is their Hydrating Cream to Foam Cleanser, and it in particular helps remove makeup. So I think for me, I have to use a few pumps of this to just really make sure I'm washing off the makeup, and I'm gentle, but I do kind of use this 1 to 3 times depending on how much makeup I have, or if I've used primer, things like that. So this is a big value size bottle because if I'm wearing makeup, I will use this first to just remove and cleanse the face from the makeup. Okay. And then I will follow up, or if I'm not using or have makeup on my face, I will use the CeraVe Hydrating Facial Cleanser. And it's a more gentle follow-up cleanser. I feel like it sort of rehydrates the face a little bit after removing all that makeup. So I really enjoy this as like my last cleanser to use. Okay. So this is, again, for normal to dry skin. Has 3 essential ceramides and hyaluronic acid. A lot of their products have the same thing, but it's more moisture balancing. It doesn't really remove makeup. I wish both of these were kind of the same one and done, but I feel like I kind of get why this one's just a little bit more drying out, because you're removing a ton of dirt and makeup, and this is more like rebalancing the moisture. So, yeah. And then I basically just use like Dove soap, like the body soap, like the cacao one or the moisturizing one as my body wash. Not that that's like, I don't know, that doesn't really do crazy things, it just washes my body, but I do think lotioning your skin is important. Okay, I'm not the best at it. I seem to always forget, but I have been so good about keeping up with it lately, and one of my favorite body lotions has been the Olay Firming Body Lotion with Collagen Peptide. This is just so moisturizing, glowy, and firming. Love it. I do feel like keeping up with the body lotion, no matter what you use, is going to be beneficial. You know what I mean? Maintaining elasticity, maintaining collagen. Love that. Okay, so that's one of my favorites. And if I'm not using this one, I'll go with just your typical Vaseline Cocoa Radiant 48-hour moisture. This is also a really good one. So moisturize your skin, use SPF. You walk away with anything today. Okay, so I've gotten out of the shower, did my skincare routine in there. Then I'll do, brush my teeth, all that good stuff. And I'll want to do my nighttime skincare. And it depends on the day. But let's say I've done a mask, or maybe I'll do like the new face. If I'm not doing a special treatment like that, I'll dive into the next products. I typically just do any given night. So first and foremost, I go in with an eye cream, and I've been loving the CeraVe Skin Renewing Eye Cream Peptide Complex. I feel like I could find some, again, eye creams. Love this, but if there was something better, I would love to find it. Maybe I'm just always tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so my body just keeps waking me up at 6 a.m. I'm in a season, you guys, where I'm constantly energized, but like I'm always tired as well. Like I'm exhausted by how much energy I seem to have. And there's good days and bad days with that. And I feel like the bad days are when like I'm not getting a lot of sleep, but my body's just waking me up. So I gotta figure that out. Good sleep is important to skin, so eye cream can only go so far. However, this one does the job. It's really gentle. It's just my daily night eye cream. You could use this in the AM or PM, but I typically just do the PM. So yeah, that is a great eye cream. If I'm doing a retinol treatment, which I do maybe every couple of days, I probably should be more frequent with it, but every like 3 days I'll do retinol. And I just use the La Roche-Posay retinol. It's the Redermic retinol. Everything else is in French. Intensive anti-wrinkle resurfacing hydrating eye cream. So this is by, again, La Roche-Posay, and it is pricier than other products, but I mean most retinol eye creams at the drugstore are going to be a little bit more money, but this is something I like to use for my retinol treatment. And it's not, again, it's not like, would you call it the pharmaceutical or over the counter? I know you can get like prescription retinol, and that's not what this is, so just a heads up. Then if, again, I'm sticking with a retinol treatment, I will do the Retinol B3 Serum by La Roche-Posay. I've been using this for a few years as well, and I love it. I do feel like when I'm not using it, I notice, and then when I am keeping up with my skincare, I'm like, oh, she's looking fresh, she's looking buoyant. Again, sleeping and eating whole foods also helps your skin. So just drinking water, you know what I mean, is helpful. And let's say I'm not doing retinol, or maybe I want a little bit more hydration than just moisturizer. I'm not really into like a ton of serums and oils right now. I just feel like for me, where I'm at, quick and easy is what I need. And so I either just do a retinol treatment or just moisturizer at night. But if I'm looking for a little extra hydration, quick and easy serum, I'll do the Hylu B5 serum from La Roche-Posay, and it's just extra hydrating. That's what it looks like. Yeah, so this is just, again, really good. I don't do it every day, but it's more like on the days I'm not doing retinol or like another treatment, like a mask. Yeah. And then pretty much every single night, if I'm like dead tired and I just need to put on eye cream and a moisturizer, that's fine. We call it a day. That's all I need. I use the La Roche-Posay Tolerion, I'm not sure, Double Repair Face Moisturizer. This is a nice consistency. It's a little thick, but it's not too greasy. Love it. So I've gone through so many of these. Love the way that it doesn't, again, because I do have somewhat greasy areas, and sometimes dry skin. I feel like it really balances the moisture in my skin and doesn't break me out or clog pores, essentially. So I really love this as well. I've gone through so many of them, so many. Okay, so that is my night skincare routine, but we're not done yet. I know. We actually have a few more things to take care of the lashes and the eyebrows. So this is something where if you don't have a lash lift or eyebrow lamination like I do, you don't necessarily need these things, but this is sort of part of the upkeep and caring and hydrating, because what you've done essentially with a lash lift or lamination is you've permed things to be upright and, you know, to keep and maintain the color of the tint as well as the uprightness of the hair. Hydrating with oils and conditioners is going to be helpful. So here I have jojoba oil, and this is a huge jar. I don't know that I'm going to go through all of that. I actually use jojoba oil for a variety of different things, but mostly I've been using it for my brows. And what I've done is I've bought a eyebrow spoolie. This is just from e.l.f. and I will wash it every now and then, but I put a little bit of oil on the spoolie. I'll just like take the dropper and put a little bit of oil. A little goes a long way. And my eyebrows are clean. Let's say I'm out of the shower, I have all my other skincare on. I will go through and just brush the eyebrows back into the position, you know, that they are lifted in, and they're oiled so it doesn't feel drying. It feels really nice, so highly recommend. And then I'll use like a Q-tip if I need to like soak up extra oil around the brows, and it's totally fine. And then for lashes, you don't have to use this brand specifically, but right now I've just been using them because it's convenient. It's the Grande Repair Leave-In Lash Conditioner. This is good for lash extensions as well and lash lifts. But basically what it is it's conditioning the lashes to keep them hydrated. Because if they're really dry, then they start to fall more. So this is really helpful, and I just apply this at night on clean lashes, and then I'll also do it in the morning before putting on mascara. And one of the things with lash lifts is they don't recommend using waterproof mascara because it's more damaging to try to remove from the eyelashes. You'll end up taking some eyelashes with you. So I don't use waterproof mascara if I'm anticipating a sweaty, hot day where I'm worried about mascara. I'll either skip it because the lash lift lifts the brows or lifts the lashes already, or what I'll do is I'll use, a spray primer, really lock that in, So, yeah, that's just a hang up, is you may not want to use waterproof mascara because that's just gonna not really help the lift over time. So yeah, conditioner is gonna be your friend. And then I also use a lash enhancing serum to just help keep the growth of the lashes so that the lash lift, you're getting your bang for your buck, or whatever the saying is. Now, I have been using the Grande lash, and there's obviously some feedback on the specific ingredient that can reduce the fat around your eyes. So just be aware, do your research. I don't think you need to use this one. You could use another one if you want. For me, this is fine. I haven't noticed any weird side effects for myself after using this for a few weeks, and honestly, I'm not super consistent with it. Like, sometimes I forget about this. The conditioner is like, I use that almost every day, but the enhancing serum, sometimes I forget. But this is just to really help keep the length going, so that's good. All right, that's pretty much it for my skincare products, and a lot of it has not changed. I think if anything, I've just introduced some treatments that I feel like have really been beneficial for me, such as the botox, such as the lamination, lash lift. I think that I could go without the lamination and lash lift, if I really didn't want to spend the money, kind of thing. That's totally, I can do without that. That's fine. I can achieve this effect with as much makeup or an eyelash curler if I really wanted to. But I do think for me now, as I'm entering mid-30s, I don't think I personally could afford a lot of the treatments available out there. So for me, I really love just keeping a consistent routine, focusing on my health, because everything really comes from that. And maybe I'll do a health and fitness routine video, what I've been doing. There's some things I've been switching up and different workouts I'm trying, so maybe in the future I'll do a video on my full routine and nutrition that I've really focused on in the near future. But yeah, I think for me right now, botox is as much as I want to try. I'm open to other things, but probably not super intense. I don't know. It's a lot out there, you guys. And if anything, I think I'd want to invest in facials. Routine facials sounds relaxing. Sounds great, honestly. So maybe that's something I'll enter into in my next phase of skincare. But for now, I'm happy with what I have, what's going on, and just know my skin looks this way because I do have some makeup on. And the lighting is good and whatever, but I have my days, all right? And that's normal. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this updated skincare beauty routine video. Yeah, I really enjoyed sharing everything with you, what I've been using and loving lately, and I would love to know any favorite products you love, especially eye creams, constantly on the hunt for something even better. So, yeah, I appreciate you sticking around for watching, and hopefully, we'll see you again soon.